They drove them?
Drove them. He had 25 cowboys, whatever. He and McAdowell were business partners. Then the TV series Lonesome Dove is about Story's life.
Really?
And his ties, you wouldn't believe it, his ties back to McAdowell and Punta Gorda, that's the whole Story series.
And they actually, that was them coming from Bozeman to here.
Yeah, they both came from Bozeman. McAdowell moved from Bozeman here in Punta Gorda.
Right.
Had the big house right up here on the water.
Right, where the hotel is.
Right beside the hotel, yeah. And then this was one of his closest business associates. Both of them had gold mining. They were very, very wealthy entrepreneurs.
Mm-hmm.
But Nelson's story is Lonesome Dove. Well, that's something we just stumbled across. Hell, we never.
Speaking of gold artifacts, I remember as a young kid hunting on the Lights Brothers property in Glade County. There's several old Indian mounds over there, and every time you come up on, someone had dug in them looking for something valuable in them. Mm-hmm. Nothing in them but pottery and bones.
There's not gold here, though.
It did not naturally occur here, no.
No.
The Spanish were looking for two things, gold and slaves. And that was all they were looking for. And that's one reason they kept going up to the west and down into South Central America.
Everything I read said the Calusas weren't good slaves because they wouldn't mind them.
They were fierce. They were big people. They were the size of our people today.
The Calusa were?
Yeah, the Spanish were very small.
Right.
4'8", 4'10", was as large as they were. But the Calusas were fierce. There was like 50, 60,000 of them here. This was their heartland. Only one of two societies ever existed that had no agrarian dependency, and the Calusa were one of the two. The other one were some Indians around Seattle. So some of this stuff goes back 12,000 years. Got pretty good documentation, research on it. Rob Patton did the best research on the 42 mounds here in the harbor that anybody has. Chet has that book.
Okay.
But Dr. Rob Patton, he stayed down here with us. It was kind of a matching ground. We could do in-kind services or whatever, so we provided them housing for 8 months. The time the team was down here did all their research. But it's very, very good.
Shell mounds are amazing. You think about the size of a normal oyster shell or conch shell or any other thing that they were eating. I mean, to make those mounds, some were huge. It had to take hundreds of years.
Most of their burial mounds were away from the harbor, so they did get some protections. So the two that are on Alligator Creek were up, and the one Indian burial mound at Vermont was on the Shell Creek.
Did your dad? Well, your dad would have been young when McAdowell died. Your grandfather would have been the doctor that would have taken care of him. No,
I don't know. Dr. Grunwell signed my grandfather's death. The Grunwell house we live in. Grunwell was the fleet surgeon for the Great White Fleet Roosevelt sent around the world in 1912.
Okay.
His parents had the first trolley franchise in Washington, D.C. When he got out of the Navy, he came to Punta Gorda, bought this lot on the river here, went to Italy, stayed 2 years. The name of the house is Villa Bianca in Italian, which means White House. He bought the carved sandstone fireplaces that are in the house while he was in Italy. Came back here, Max Price designed it and built the house. Took him 2 years to build it, 1925, 26. Then we bought it from his son. Okay. It's the only house in the county that's on the National Register that's a residence.
Oh.
And the house across the street was the Babcock house. That one I just finished, and we just got it placed on the National Register.
Yeah, Lynn's been helping you with all this stuff. Yeah.
We just got tons and tons.
Because I had called her up about working with me on
They're all going to
history.
St. Petersburg this weekend. Their state book show is Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
Okay.
And the girls from the library, Copperfish over here, got a booth, and Scott and all of them are going up Friday.
Oh, okay. Okay.
We're still looking for some more stuff that we haven't found.
Well, I'm helping. I'm doing the Punta Gorda historical thing. Like I say, I'm going to be the nurse between Palm Avenue and McGregor on that area there. That I'll be a nurse. So there we go.
I've got my grandfather's invitation to Governor Gilchrist's inaugural ball at the house, an original envelope, addressed to him, and the letter on the state I'm going to donate it to Linda because I know all of Linda's stuff is going to State Historical Society when she passes, or the Pond Border Historical Society. And it's in storage, and I told her I was going to dig it out and give it
Yeah,
to her.
we've been working on this thing. Hopefully, the county's about to come around and give us some facilities we're looking for our archives.
Where are they looking at giving that to you?
Address
Right
Raymond
beside
Keene,
Cooper Street,
Pond
where they
Border
are.
Florida, that's all
Okay.
That envelope from Governor Gilchrist involved, it's addressed to Raymond Keene, Punta Gorda, Florida. That's all it's on it besides the stamp and the postmark.
We got some letters the other day that were missent to Key West and then from there back to Punta Gorda. But, and it had to do with Howard, I think one of his daughters.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it was he homesteaded that in 1873. So Salona's actually homesteaded and platted before Tribute.
Yeah, because Tribute was done, 1885? That it was.
1880.
He came. He bought it.
1887.
Well, that's when it was put. Yeah, but 1885 is when Harvey did the Kelly Harvey or Harvey, yeah, and Kelly, that he actually plotted it there. Yeah, yeah, very interesting. Very, very.
my-
Okay, the questions of who owns who or what. The railroad right away that goes through Cecil Webb, who owns it?
Zimmel family.
The Zemel family does own it?
Yeah, they bought the railroad. Couldn't get the game department did. They didn't have the power of eminent domain. We got the legislature to give the game department the power of eminent domain, and they've never used it.
Because there are multiple pieces of small plots in Cecil Webb that are owned by private people.
The one that Bud Cole owned was there on
My
Tucker's
dad tried
Road.
to buy from Bud before he died. Bud wouldn't even talk to him about it.
He was on there. Anyway, we did a bunch of stuff on the Punta Gorda Army Airfield. It was a 13,200 acre bombing gun range on Weber. We got documents like that. Everything on it.
I can remember Walt was telling stories about going out and collecting brass and cashing it in when he was a young man.
Best place to get brass was in the gunnery range.
Hi, how are you? I'm sorry I
And he
couldn't
said he
make
got it
it.
there and the bombing. They got it both places.
The weather was so iffy anyway.
Was it?
But
So how did it?